So S&P 500 has slipped below a very important zone on the last day of trading of the last week, that is Friday. And what does it mean from here on? We'll talk about that. Also on Nasdaq 100, we are seeing continuation of the weakness. It hasn't lost the last line of defense, but it's very close from doing that. Let's talk about what zones, the levels we have to watch and how to plan for this week. And then we'll take a look at Tesla. Is this candle a sufficient bullish signal for us, or we are still in the weakness? We'll take a look at SpaceX as well. Has the SpaceX found its stabilization and bottom here enough that we can trade or buy back to the upside? Let's talk about all this in this video. Now, before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. We'll start off with SPY here, guys. So SPY, as I said, has lost a very critical level of this zone 732 to 735, which has been the next area we were closely watching price action at. Once we started to lose 749, that was our magnet. We got there, then we have been watching price action here, and I have been telling you, yes, even though these are a little bit stabilizing here, but it doesn't make it bullish. Okay, and S&P 500 continues to reject our zone above, the significant level above, constantly, and thus has remained in this ongoing weakness. Right now, that's something I was pointing you to over the last few days, that S&P 500, as we stay below these zones, significant level, we will remain negative. Now, it is important to also note, when we started to reject, look at it, like if I show you, this is the significant level, right? I have just overlaid that with the yellow zone, but this significant level at 735, all marked by my tools for you automatically. If you need access to my tools, details you'll find in the description of this video. Multiple hours of rejection at that very significant level, guys. Multiple hours of rejection, right? Look at the wicks rejecting at the significant level. The next day we bounced, but slowed down and rejected right at that significant level. I'm telling you, these significant levels, if you're not trading with these, I don't know what you are doing. Okay, so and then we continued lower, and that keeps it still negative. Now, just getting above 735 will not bring back proper strength in S&P 500. What we have to do to be back in the strength on S&P 500 is getting above the 739 significant level. Okay, above that only is you can expect a strength build up from where we are. We don't want to lose below, because if we lose below, then our zone to watch for the upside strength will change. Okay, but that will, I can tell you when the price has moved. So for now, from where the price is, if we don't break further below and we start to get above of 739, then only it will be a turnaround. Usually it's always a significant level higher. Okay, so if you have my tools, you can just use that analogy to decide for yourself, right? But there's a lot, as price action evolves, so are the levels adjust themselves. Yes, my tools adjust levels all automatically for you guys. You have to think nothing. You just have to plug and play and trade. That's it, right? So, and that's why when it comes to these levels, I can't really tell you, weeks ahead, right? I can only give you as what in the real time price action is telling us, right? And then there are forward looking outcome. But if you ask me, like, okay, what if 2-3 days away from now, no, price would have evolved by then, and so would be our areas to watch, right? Excuse me. So, and at this point, S&P 500 still remains negative, and so 722 is the region to watch at this point. On it has tested technically with a wick, but it's mostly market makers screwing in the last minute, the options traders most likely. But the point is that, guys, at this point, as we stay below those zones, definitely 739 is the zone, but staying below yellow zone is definitely a continuation of weakness. Staying below 739 is also a continuation of the weakness. It's just that some rebound can build up between 735 to 739, but strength is not until above 739. And so as we stay below this yellow zone, expect right now the next zone of magnet technically becomes 694. We may see along the way its price evolve, but right now that's the magnet. Okay, so until there, even if S&P 500 comes there, excuse me, it's not a problem. Technically, it's part of longevity. It's a good support, like 694. If you missed out on buying here, if you missed out on buying here, this will be your next opportunity to buy here technically at 694 if we get there. All right, so but the point is that right now we are in the weakness and remains in the weakness. Nasdaq 100 is also a little bit staying in the weakness. It's at the last line of defense. We got continued rejection at 724, and that was the zone. Previously I mentioned that until there is just a bounce, guys, and we are coming back down. At this point, if we lose $700, and it's in the multi-day weakness, it's just that if we lose $700, that may, again, just like S&P 500, the magnet will become 635. Okay, so S&P 500 is kind of ahead of Nasdaq 100 in the price action. But there's a lot more to do with how those chip stocks, memory stocks, AI flyer stocks are doing. For that, you can check out this video on my on my YouTube, Turning Point on the stock market. A lot of stuff I have talked here. And if you're interested to also know where money is flowing, what I'm buying, where the things are looking really good, you can check out this members only video. That is, stocks coverage. Don't miss this video. It's a very important video. Okay, if you want to check that out. Okay, so all right, let's get back over here. So what is Nasdaq 100 telling us? Well, it tells us that we are in the weakness. Okay, and we continue to be in the weakness. Nothing changes for us. Your proper strength on this thing will not build up until above 723 technically. That's the zone. And near-term strength is possible, as if when I say near-term strength, a part of it rebound above 713 until 723. If we start to get above 713, near-term rebound can build up until 723, but nothing more than that. But what that would do above 713 will increase the probability of it stabilizing for a day at 723, and the next day we will have a higher probability of breaking through, but only above, if that happens above 713. So near term, below that, weakness will persist, weakness will continue. Okay, and your next magnet will start to look like 636. Again, if you missed out on like S&P 500, if you missed out on Nasdaq 100 also buying at these good prices, technically we became bullish here. I told my members all of that, and if you missed that out, definitely this will be your again opportunity to potentially build a position. All right, guys, let's get to Tesla and SpaceX. So the point being, is this candle, the last trading day candle, makes Tesla bullish in a comeback? And the answer is no. All right away. No, it's not bullish. It's just a part of a rebound. But what did I tell you? A video prior on, I think, Thursday. What will Tesla do? What we want to see, if we want to see a strong next week. I said that, which level did I tell you? 387. Right, let's get to the 5 minutes, because I want to show you how important these significant levels are, which are marked by my tools all automatically for you. And here you can see and understand that precise rejection at that significant level after the run up, definitely you can use on my other tool, this average range at today's range. And when it completes and we are at a significant level, you are seeing a rejection, a double test rejection already, and we gave up the gains. Well, not fully gave up the gains, we still closed green on the day, but you can see the importance. And this was the level I was telling you, 387, right? So that's why this zone was so important. And right now we tested that, we didn't close closer to it, but we still closed green for the day. However, it is not right now in the bullish strength. Tesla is technically, this is just a rebound right now on Tesla. We will have to see Tesla start to close this week above 387. It's very important at this point. And it's also very important that we don't lose the level below like 373, the bottom part of the blue zone. We don't lose that this week, and we can close this week, upcoming week, above 387. That will start to bring some, again, upside on Tesla. Okay, so that's easy, how easy it is to look at Tesla this week. Okay. All right, let's get to SpaceX. Okay, so SpaceX. Is this a buy now? Has the weakness completed itself? And the answer is no. The weakness hasn't completed itself. We are still in the weakness. We're still in the negative structure. Let's get to the hourly interval. So we are still slowing down. We are going sideways. It's trying to hold the IPO price here. Okay. Well, open price. Okay. IPO day open price. Technically, IPO was at 135, but open price was at 150. Okay. Almost there. So at this point, 160 below, we have a significant level, so I can remove this zone now. See, my tools will automatically update the zones and the levels for you and automatically show up. So here, significant level is 160. If we can get above, start to get above 160, you can expect some upside. Okay. Now, how strong that upside would be, I want to see getting up and upside and stabilization at least for a day. Then we can be confident that it's good to continue up. But definitely that will start above 160. Below that, technically we are still in the weakness, but it is not wanting to go much lower, at least right now. But if we lose the bottom part of it, 147 area, that's where a continuation can happen, or a liquidity grab can also happen. So both sides are possible, but the point is that avoid trading between these two zones of 160 and 147 if you are wanting to trade like multi-day or swing. Okay, for day trades, that's okay. In this video, it's just too hard to go in the day trade. Technically, I would still suggest use these zones for the either side breakout, but for day trading, I would suggest use my easy day and swing trading tool. It will tell you everything in real time what you have to do. Okay. And if you, again, like onboarding videos will teach you everything, how to use the tool, how to set it up. There is no point in me going over in this video about that tool. Okay. So anyhow, and if you remember, you already know what I'm talking about. So that's pretty much what SpaceX is, guys. Definitely there are opportunities in the market, especially if you're a long-term investor, guys. If you're a long-term investor, there are definitely opportunities in the market, but you will have to be a member to know all of those details on ongoing basis. And I'm telling you, this year itself, market has given us second time this opportunity. The first time we made 80% gains, 50+% gains. All right, within just a year. Well, first half of the year, and we are already getting second opportunity this time around. So don't waste your time in just thinking, should I join the membership or not? Well, that's your decision. But what I'm saying is that make your decision, right? Like, anyways, guys, so that's pretty much what it is for this video. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.